I just have one 8mm bead. It's a cute little amethyst. But that's all I have. One 8mm bead and about 18 inches of 18 gauge silver plated copper. Non-tarnish. That's it. That's all I have. Not enough to make a necklace. No. But never fear, we'll try it anyway. Let's take this bead and this 18 gauge silver. Bring the bead to the very middle of the silver. Why? I don't know. We should probably give up now and cry. But we'll do this because it's fun. Because it's fun to try and fail. Oh, looks like a planet. That's a nice little amethyst there. Okay, let's crimp it and crimp it. Now let's just start wrapping. Start wrapping it around the stone. Really tight. Really tight. Why? It's not going to do anything. It's just going to make us more sad when nothing comes of it. But we'll just do it anyway. It's an exercise in seeing how sad we can be. Just try to be as sad as possible. Now this takes some finger strength. You want to roll it very tight. But as you start to roll it, you get a nice wrap. Now you don't have to roll it completely tight against the stone. After you get it a couple times, you can start to go out a little bit like this and give it kind of like a Saturn ring around it. And then when you're happy with your Saturn ring, you bend it backwards and give it a... Now holding the strands still tight, you might want to practice this with 20 gauge. It's pretty hard on your fingers if you're not used to it for, what's it called? 18 gauge. Let's try with 20 and maybe a 6mm bead. You could still do 8mm, but I'm just throwing ideas out there. So we got this nice loop here. We can make it tight, or we can come up this, make another loop, smaller one. We're getting smaller and smaller, like a snowman. But we're reversing. We're making a loop this way, and then this way, and then this way, and then this way. And so now we're going to go for our last loop, but instead we're going to trick you. And it's going to be the closing bail at the top. Again, I'm pinching these to keep the silver side by side because it looks really good if it stays side by side. Now this, like, you can let the strands separate, or you can pull them tight. This I started to separate. If I separate them more, it gives you a different effect. Like, you start to see a whole different pattern in there. But you got to decide if you want them separate or tight. I kind of went back and forth, so now I have them a little bit in the middle, which is fine. Everything is fine. I say everything is fine, okay? And I'm in charge. So how tight, how small, how big do you want the loop at the top? Once you decide that, look at that, I almost ran out. I must have not been in the very middle because look how I have much more of the other, but I have just enough to finish it, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to come around and start scarfing this loop, pull it really tight. And this first one is just, let's just get rid of that because it's going to be in the way. So let's bend it over here. Cut it with just enough to tuck it in so it doesn't come out the other side. Just tuck it right in there. Bam! It's in. See that? It's tucked right in. Can't scratch anyone. Just double check it's jammed. It's jammed in there. Okay? See that? Now this guy we're going to use for the scarf because he has a lot of strandage left. It's a new coin I just made, strandage. Also works for desert islands. Like if you and your buddies routinely get stranded on desert islands, you can say, how bad was the strandage this month? Oh, pretty bad, John. You know, next time I'm going to carry some supplies on me in case I accidentally get stranded again on a desert island. Maybe next time the strandage won't be as bad. Okay, I tucked in that last little part. You see that? Because when you scarf it, basically this is like a face and you're wrapping it around and around like a scarf. And then when you get up high enough, you tuck in. It makes a bowl. You tuck your sharp ends in the bowl, and then you're done. So this is pretty much our necklace. Now you decide you want to roll this out or roll it tighter. I want this loop a little bigger. I'll move that like that. These are 10 millimeter. You can do smaller. I like these. They're chunky. I'm in a chunky mood. I had some chunky soup today. So just throw them on there. I always ask if the person's right-handed, because I put the clasp in the right hand. Otherwise, they're gonna sometimes just put the necklace on backwards without realizing it. If you don't let them know the clasp is in your right hand, or if you put the clasp on the left side, then sometimes they flip it and they don't even realize it. And then the pretty side of your necklace is hidden. But in this one, it really doesn't make much of a difference, because here's what I would call the front, and then voila, it's almost identical. So you're free from the fear of spinning, the fear of spinach. It's not spinach, the vegetable, but spinach, just like strandage. 2 new terms in one video. You're welcome.